I gotta be functional with, like, okay, their family cool. I like their whole structure. So I'm like when I was 23, I didn't ever think about that. I didn't care about that. Things I care about now is totally different than I cared about back then. But I noticed, I think both men and women rush to have sex too quick, especially in this day and age. Like, sex is so quick.
Yeah.
So to me, it's like, it's so easy. It's like, it's not even nothing like you have, as a teacher, you see all these students having kids, like, so it can't be sacred because everybody's doing it. So it's like, okay, now look at it like, okay, what are you offering? Because sex is easy. Everybody can do that. But what outside that, when I'm done, as you know, a man, like, when you're done, that really shows how you like a girl when after the sex, how you feel about her afterward. Because beforehand is all semantics. It's all, yeah, I love you, yeah, girl, we over here. Yeah, that's all talk. Mm-hmm. But when you're done, how you feel about it. And so that's the key. It's like, how do I feel about the situation after I'm not having sex with her, when we're not engaged in it? So I like being around the girl. Because that's why so many problems with families now, because everything was based off of sex. And so people had children, and they can't stand the girl, or they can't stand the guy, but they had sex. And now they have another child, and now it's like total dysfunction. But if you on the same page as a girl when you're having sex, and you're not even thinking about that, it's probably a good recipe for, a connection.
Well, for this particular woman, what I would say is, if she's not looking for a family or like relationship stability, then go ahead. Like,
Yeah, because they do you.
Yeah. But if you're not, then this is like a highway to hell.
I do think it's a double standard though. When as a guy can be like have a lot of women and then settle down and be good. But I think it's for a woman to do the same thing. It's like, I'm cool. You know what I mean? I'm not going to talk to her.
Let's get into that.
A girl was settled down with a guy that had he had all the girls in college. He graduate, and then he get with his girlfriend. He ready to settle down. The girl, she kind of like, okay, cool. He cool now. But if a guy thought a girl was reckless in college, she was with everybody at the party, drunk, I'm not settling down with her unless she moved to another state where nobody will know her.
Yeah, man. Well, perfect segue. Yeah, so that's our next, topic. The double standard versus, men versus women. Lee, you want to weigh in on that? On what? First of all, do you believe it is one? And what do you feel about it?
I think that there definitely is one. You definitely hit the nail on the head where this girl has to be this perfect being, and the guy can just do whatever he wants, and always forgiven when he says, "Oh, I want to marry you." But yet still, he only wants to marry the girl who's this angel. He never wants to forgive anyone. He never wants to forgive the same person who forgave him for being, for making his mistakes.
Right.
And so, I guess you guys don't have this mentality. But it's just kind of confusing to me. I just want to know their reasoning and the logic behind, if you can do it, why do you? If you can do it, then why can't she do it? I don't understand the difference.
Yeah, it's to me, it's a real complex thing, I'm just I can only track my own movement and talk about my experiences, but even as a teenager, my mom. So Lucinda and I had this conversation, and about the expectations of who we date, in our family structure, and it's a lot of women in my family, small family, and a lot of women. So, they were very particular about who they wanted me to date, take serious, blah blah blah. And the same for Lacinia, But the choices were different. So when we talk about variety and your options with the opposite sex, I gotta agree. I gotta agree that my mom was kind of okay, if you want to talk to this girl, yeah, go ahead, talk to this girl. And my mom may be a bad example because my mom is kind of more of a she's not really. She was strict where she needed to be, but my mom was very liberal in some other ways.
Yeah, more free spirit.
Yeah, more free spirit than some other mothers. So my mom was kind of like, and also, I mean, the type of kid I wasn't like a savage kid. I was like just chill, relaxed kid. But my mom kind of was just like, oh, if you want to talk to her, you talk to her. So I didn't really have that leash on me, even growing up. So it is a difference as opposed to probably how Licinia was brought up with that. Okay, this is what you can do, this is what you can't do. I really didn't have a leash on who I could talk to, you know. So it is a tricky thing, you know.
I think but I believe in, like, you know, gender roles. I believe in that. Like, I believe that a man is supposed to be a gentleman and a woman is supposed to be a lady. Like, I don't believe like even I think when men are sloppy, trying to sleep with everybody, I think that's like egregious to me. What I see a woman doing, I think is egregious too. I think the highest epitome is of being a classy lady or a classy gentleman, and I think we have lost our way with that.
Oh, totally.
In society, and we don't really follow that no more. Because, be honest, nobody like, if I got the pick of the litter, and I got two girls to pick one, and one is a classy lady that's got her stuff together, and one is not. Usually, I'm not going to pick the one to settle down and start a family with that's not classy and not, you know, conserving herself and, you know, respecting herself. I'm not picking her. You know, it's just what it is. People say, "Oh yeah, well, it don't matter. They all the same." Well, not to me. So, you know, not who I want to have my child with. It's totally different. So you gotta. I think people have to. First of all, they have to live it themselves, and then, you know, just look for it in society. So I don't, like I said online, that I think, like, women cook better than men. I was making a general statement. This girl took it as I was being sexist. I'm like, yo, that's not even a diss, though. I'm like, the majority of women I know, my family cook better than the guys in the family. If my family has Thanksgiving dinner and all the men cook, no women cook, they're not going to come. I'm not coming. Uncle, he can't even cook.
Yeah, I think the men. I think the men cook better than the women. That's just go ahead.
I'm just thinking, like, historically in general.
Yeah, I got you.
If I get married, my wife, I can cook. She probably cook better than me. But if she don't, that's just what it is. Yeah. But everything can be like sexist now. I'm like, everything you say is sexist. Oh, you look nice today. Oh, that's sexist. You judge her look. I'm like, hold up, man.
Yeah.
Where are we going? Well, you can't say anything about a gender. We're not the same. Right. That's why they try to blur the lines with the bathrooms. Like, oh, just, you know, all bathrooms should be co-ed. No, she go in that bathroom, I go in this bathroom. Why are you trying to make everything just blur the line between women and men? Like, it's all the same. It's not all the same.
Yeah, well, you know, that's a whole different thing. I think that has something to do with the LGBT movement and the transgender movement, whereas, like, they identify with, like, you know, a different sex.
That's a whole different.
Yeah.
That's a whole different body.
Yeah. We ain't ready for that. Not tonight. Yeah. I ain't ready for that tonight.
But I do believe that women should, you know, it's certain. There's levels. Me say it's levels. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not going to say that a girl that's handling her business and doing the right thing, that, you know, what I consider right, because, you know, right is subjective to the person. What I consider right in being classy and, you know, being available, open to date a gentleman. You know, some women we knew that, you know, lived around the way, and we like, yo, this girl is out of pocket. And we was like, she got children. Like Malcolm said, we got to be careful with the women, because the women are the teachers of the children, which, you know, basically go spread that message to the world. So you got to be very careful how you deal and interact with women. So that's important.
Word, definitely, man. I want to pose this to Lee, and then we can follow up. But, like, a question I wanted to ask her, you know, on the podcast was that, like, you know, how do you feel about, like, body image and, you know, like, Instagram, and how girls are, you know, everybody's like has a fat booty, or, you know, your waist has to be super thin, and you know, like, your hair has to be a certain way. You know, like, what do you feel about that? Like, is there pressure on you to like live up to the images, or, you know, or do you see girls kind of like trying to keep up, and, you know, like, what are your thoughts on that?
I think that there definitely is, like, a pressure, and there definitely is, like, a mold that society is trying to make. I definitely think that a positive thing on social media that there's definitely like a push for like natural hair and like embracing yourself, being who you are. So I think that's very good and very positive.
Yeah.
There's also the thing that's kind of weird to me is that sometimes people don't really know how to like compliment someone. Like they can like you can just compliment someone and like someone for them, but you don't have to try and like be like them. You can like be yourself as well. You can get ideas from them. Get like I don't know the way she did her hair. So maybe I'm just similar to her, but it's not like you're trying to be like her. Like just be yourself. But I do think that there's a lot of disrespect and a lot of like slander towards like women's like natural bodies. Just in general, just like the things that our bodies do and the way that they look. But then at the same time, it's also disrespect towards women who choose to enhance their bodies in a certain way. So it's like, okay, you're saying that women shouldn't get implants, stuff like that, but you're also getting mad when women have like stretch marks and things like, and their waist isn't like super small and their hips super wide. So it's just like it's really kind of misleading but I think there's like a lot of different like voices and a lot of different opinions. And I just think that the positive ones should definitely be the ones that you focus on, the ones that tell you to embrace yourself and to be the best that you can be. So those are the best ones to follow.
Yeah, what about you, brother?
Yeah, but the first thing I don't get is when, like, let's say Victoria's Secret is doing, like a little a swimsuit model thing. You have groups of women that protest them for not having, plus size. Like, to me, but that's my thing. Everybody should just be in a lane. Like, there's a Lane Bryant lane. There's a Victoria's Secret lane. Like, you don't have to push your stuff on nobody else. You just do your lane. Like, so if somebody want to do plus size models, let them do them. If somebody want to do, the Victoria's Secret ones, let them do them. And I think everybody should because everybody like different things. So some people I know guys that like girls that are thick, like thick. You don't like thin girls. I know guys that like thin girls. To me, I don't really care. I'm on either end. You know what I mean? It depends on the attraction. But some people like what they like, and so I think it's a lane for every person. And what I don't get though with the look, and Brandon, you had this conversation, is the enhancement and the surgery stuff. Like, I'd rather deal with a girl it's just her. Because, like, to me as a man, like, I'm not changing nothing on my body. The only change I probably go through is when I'm at the gym. Mm-hmm. But as far as me going to some nice, for my nose, to me, it flies against any cultural existence my parents had, my DNA from my grandparents, my great-grandparents, from me, into my children. Like, so I know I'm in a minority from that, because a lot of people get it done. But I think it screams like low self-esteem when people do that. I'm not saying that everybody had it, but to me, the ones I hear that go and get it is like, you're trying to keep up with the Joneses for some reason, or you're trying to impress. And people are like, well, I'm only getting this butt implant and the breast for me, it's not for nobody else. You're lying. It's not. It's for other people. It ain't just for you. Come on. You're getting a whole new butt and chest, and you don't think nobody's gonna notice? Mm-hmm. So, I don't really agree with that, but I'm not judging. Just my opinion.
But I think that, like, the thing that you said about the Victoria's Secret versus the Lane Bryant, there's a whole range of girls who are in between that, and the Victoria's Secret, like, there's like one like mold that they fit, and like sometimes they have like the one or two like black supermodels with the conveniently European features. But so it's like, what about the people who are actually buying your clothes, the ones who don't look like this, who don't have these like sculpted, skinny, enhanced bodies? Because even the models don't even look like their pictures. So it's like, can you just be an accurate representation of the people who are actually buying your clothing? So it's just